Okay. So, hello, Gaveliers, our future Toastmasters. Like Gavels Club, as you all know, is a venture from Toastmasters International itself. And it is for the children who are below 18 years of age and who are not eligible to have the Toastmasters experience. So here I am, Surabhi Jain, the coordinator of Lucknow Gavels Club, the only Gavels Club in Lucknow. And I have an immense pleasure in introducing Swarnalata ma'am, who is a chemical engineer with 13 years of corporate experience. And she is giving industrial training to engineering students, and she believes that she's a lifelong learner. And cherry on the top, she is a certified TEDx trainer and Toastmasters by passion, aspiring to be a confident coach. Let us join our hands for Swalata ma'am. So, ma'am, the virtual stage is all yours. Pleasure to have you here. Looking forward to
Thank
have a
you.
gala time with you.
Yeah. Thank you, Sylvie ma'am, and thank you for this opportunity. And hello, my dear children. How are you all? Come on, this is not a formal session. You all can feel free. Keep asking questions. Ask me whatever you want. Okay. Now I want to you people to unmute and say, did you all have your lunch or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Heavy lunch or a light one? Right? Okay. So let
Yes.
me check your, flexibility, because you said you are. I want to check whether you really had a light lunch or a heavier one. So, kids, sit straight. Just sit straight, spine straight. Okay. Now, stretch your hands up. Stretch your hands. Okay. Further, further. I want you to stretch your hand up to the maximum limit. Wow. Very good. I'm seeing everyone doing this. Now you know why I did this? Any guess? Why did I do this? Come on, unmute and talk to me.
Ma'am, to make us feel enthusiastic and to
Okay.
make us enjoy the session.
Wow, good. Anyone? Anyone wants to say something?
Take our energy level high to your level.
Thank you, sir. Satya, sir. Welcome. But
Hi.
yeah, Manisha, please tell me. You wanted to say something?
To make our immunity level high, and my name is Arisha.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all your guesses are right. But why did I do this? I want to tell you, when I said raise your hands, you people didn't reach your potential. You just did 80%. When I said extend further, you all could raise still more. How could it be possible? So the lesson is be human. When we do something, we often think we have already done more than 100%. That's it. But we all have to be human. We all have to be flexible. We all have to be adaptable. And maybe one more half a page. 4 pages for today. Go for 4.5 pages. If possible, fine. That is your capacity, dear children. And this is, I would like to congratulate. I mean, in fact, I'm very jealous. You people have taken such a good step in such a tiny age. I'm just imagining what will happen when you reach 18 years. Oh my God. Then you will be like direct into an advanced Toastmasters. So that is for me from So to begin, never think what you have done is maximum. You always have a 20% to go more. Okay? I know in hands, it is just limiting. And one more thing, don't apply the same principle while eating. Huh? Your parents will going to beat me if you do that. Okay? I mean, in our efforts. Now, I know you all know that today I'm going to talk about language and all these things. Even before I start, I want to share something with you people.
I'm just making you the co-host, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Still says I'm this people. Okay. Okay. Your children are able to see my screen?
Yes, mom.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So today's session
Yes,
is going to be interactive. To answer, okay? So we often feel only our words speak. By the end of today's session, you will realize even our body speaks. So that is this exercise all about. So now I have a quiz, okay, for you all people. People have to guess. Now I'm going to show you something and you people have to guess and tell me what it is, okay? The first one. Can you tell me what is this all about?
A smiling emoji.
I'm
A
laughing.
happy face.
I'm laughing. Being happy.
Very good, very good.
Happy.
Yeah, you got it right. It is a smiling emoji.
Excuse
Okay.
me, ma'am.
Yeah.
I want to share something. Since we're talking about body language, I want to tell you that you're also using body language.
Wow, great. That's why I was wondering. Ma'am has told me to give you, some knowledge, and I feel you already are so good at it. Thank you. Okay. Now,
I'm a tired face.
Ma'am, it's a tired face. Ma'am, someone
Exhausted face.
This is exhausted face. Ma'am, someone
exhausted
exhausted.
face.
It's a face that has eaten a lot of chilies, red chilies, very hot red.
Yes, exactly. It's a face that has eaten lots of chili. So he's like, and his eyes are watery.
Spicy, ma'am.
Yeah, spicy, some spicy food. Okay, how about this?
Thumb
Someone
Yeah, good luck.
motivating us. Someone motivating us, ma'am.
Yes, very good, very good. How about this?
My sad
Tired emoji. Tired.
Someone irritated. Someone
Exactly.
irritated. Ma'am, someone irritated.
Someone irritated? Oh, I felt it is like someone very tired. Oh no. In night you get this, right? No more studies. I just
Yes,
want
ma'am. It is
sleep.
ma'am. Exhausted.
Yes, very good. And the final.
Ma'am, it is sleepy. Ma'am, it is sleepy.
Yeah.
Ma'am, it is sleepy.
Ma'am, it had too much of yummy food. That's why it's bringing his tongue out.
Give me a second. I think my camera is switched off. Let me just.
Ma'am, the last one is sleepy.
The last one is
Sleepy.
actually when your mom cooks a very delicious meal or when you have chocolates.
No,
How do you
ma'am,
feel?
I'm talking about the
The right
one.
side, right side one.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that is very tired, exhausted, sleepy. Now, tell me, these images have not spoken to you. Then how did you know that they are
Because
smiling?
of the body language. Because of body language.
By the body language.
Body language.
Because of the body language.
Exactly, because of the body language, because of the expressions.
Because
Right?
of the face they are making. Because of the face they are making.
Exactly.
Because of the expression.
Yes, because of their expressions.
Ma'am,
I make a tongue out which says, it is a sight, it's MA, heart, smile. So, what I want to convey to you is in our day-to-day communication, either in a Toastmasters or in your school, even before you utter a word, your appearance, the energy with you present is being visualized by others. I can capture like whether you're happy, you're sad, it's because your body speaks in its own way. Now, let me tell you something, and you tell me whether I am true or not. Okay? I am really happy today, so happy. I am so happy. Am I really happy?
it's not true.
Yes, because my words and my expressions are not matching. Now, here is one. Today, my father bet me. He was so sad. He bet me, but he bet me. Am I sad? I'm really happy, or I'm sad?
Ma'am, you are happy. And by sentence you are sad.
Yeah, there is no matching between my words and my expression. So, which clearly says, you can clearly say that I'm faking, or there is no alignment with my words and my expressions. So, similarly, in speech, when we speak, either it is in a Toastmasters or when we communicate to our teachers, the communication, there is one principle that is called as Albert Mervin's principle. He's given a principle that whenever we have communication, we just have 7% of verbal and 93% of non-verbal communication. Now, whatever you have guessed in the previous slides is things of non-verbal gestures like smile, my expressions, my hands, my emotions, my tone. Those are non-verbal. The thing I told you, like I got beatings from my father, I ate a yummy food, these are verbal. Yes. So this is the weightage that we carry in our speeches. So whatever speech you write, how much ever efforts you have learned to get the speech, but the way you deliver, that is called non-verbal communication. So in our communication, only 7% weightage is given for verbal and 93% is non-verbal. How you express, what is your posture, how do you stand. So these are some things that contribute heavily towards our speeches. Okay, so 7% is verbal and 93% is non-verbal communication. Now let's see what is non-verbal communication. In 93% of non-verbal communication, 55% is contributed by our body language. The way you present yourself on the stage or in any circumstance. And 38% is the tone of your voice. And we do have a lot of sorry, yes. So for tone, you have another session. So I'm not going into much into what is tone, how to talk. I'm not going to there. I'm going to just concentrate on this 55% of body language. So now you understood that in your speech, if you can have a right body language, you have almost won half the war because you have 55% of your percentages on body language. Okay. So now let's see what is body language and what are the factors that is contributing to body language. So what is a body language? At a given particular day, what is actually going in your mind? Your various thoughts, your playing, your actions, everything contributes. Anything you think, and then when you come on the stage, your body actually displays. Like, for example, if I have a strong emotion of joy, then my face automatically gives a smiling expression for you all to understand that ma'am is smiling. If I'm angry, I might have a stiff body, okay, which shows my emotion that I'm very angry. So similarly, the way you bring your thoughts on stage is what body language is all about, okay? Now, let us see some common postures and we will discuss. So before I explain what are the components of body language, how to do, what to do, first let me give some demonstration. I'm going to give you a small demonstration of a story, two different versions. Okay. Now you carefully watch out. Let me adjust my camera. Are you all able to see me?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, my first version. Yeah, thank you guys. Let me- Now, my first version of story. Okay. Leo the lion. Leo the lion was the king of jungle. He was strong and powerful. He had a large mane. He roared loudly. One day, he went to the park. He saw a lizard and said, "You are so thin and weak." "No, I am not weak.
Sorry
You
to interrupt, but ma'am, can you repeat? I was disconnected for 5 to 10 minutes. Can you repeat?
No problem. I'm going to tell you a story, two different versions. Okay. The first version I'm telling you. After some time, I'll read the second version. Now, you people carefully notice what is the difference between the version 1 and version 2.
Ma'am, Swarnalata ma'am, one more thing. I would please request you to stop screen sharing so that you are visible more aptly to the kids.
Yeah, sure.
And I am purposely putting everyone on mute because I don't want to break the flow of your speech, right?
Okay.
So you will have to unmute yourself once I mute everyone, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just putting everyone on mute. Okay, now you please unmute yourself, ma'am. Okay, fine.
Yeah. You're able to see me? Okay. Now, my first version of story. Okay. I'm going to tell you the story of Leo the lion. Leo the lion was a king of jungle. He was strong, he was heavy, he had a big mane, and he used to roar loudly. One day, he went into the forest and he saw a lizard. And then he said to the lizard, "You are thin, you are not weak. What can you do? I am big, I am strength, I can do whatever I want." The lizard said, "No, even I am strong." Then the lion said, "I am the bigger one, I can do anything. How about you?" Then the lizard jumped on the lotus leaf and said, "Can you do this?" The lion said, "No, I cannot do it." And then the lizard jumped on the lemon and then he asked, "Can you do this?" The lion said, "Oh no, I cannot do this." And then the lizard said, "You might be big, strong, but see, you can't do this." Then the lion felt very sad. Moral of the story is, don't estimate or judge anyone based on the appearance. Okay? This is first story I'm telling you. Okay? same story. I'm going to repeat in a different way. Now you notice what is the change between the first one and the second story. Okay, here you go. Hello everyone, this is Vanalata. I'm going to tell you a beautiful story. Leo the lion. Leo the lion was the king of jungle. He used to be strong and healthier. He had a strong, long mane. He used to roar loudly. One day, a lion went into the park. He saw a lizard and said, "Hey, you are weak and thin. Look at me. I am strong, powerful." The lizard said, "No, I am not weak." "What do you mean you are not weak? Can you do the things that I can do?" "Okay, why not?" The lizard then jumped on the lotus leaf and said, "Hey lion, can you do this?" "No, I cannot do this." Wait. He jumped on the lemon and said, "Now, can you do this?" "Oh no, I am the king of the forest, but I could not do this." The lizard said, "Lion, you might be powerful, strong, king of the jungle, but never underestimate anyone. No one can do anything. Everything in nature matters." So the moral is never underestimate anyone based on their appearance. So, children, I have told you the story. Now you tell me, unmute yourself and tell me which version did you like? Version 1, version 2, or what was it? How was it? Tell me. Same story I told in 2 ways. Which way did you like?
Version
Version 2.
One by one, one by one.
Version 2.
Okay, I noticed you all like version 2.
Version 2.
Now, okay, one by one, mute yourself and tell me why version 2 was better.
Language in it.
Specific.
Language.
I know it's body
Ma'am,
language.
may I
I
tell?
want you to-
May I? Feeling.
Ma'am, may I?
Yeah.
Ma'am, may I?
Yes, please tell me.
Ma'am, hand gestures, body language was and eye coordination was very good in the second version.
Okay.
Now may
Next
I?
person. Yeah.
Okay, so ma'am, in the first version, you were quite irritated, bored, and also a bit nervous. And as for the second version, it was the quite opposite of it. You were looking confident, happy, and also had a very good vocabulary and a clear explanation, a quite clear. You were looking quite clear by the concept of the
Very
story.
good. Thank you. Thank you.
May I?
Next one. Yeah.
May I?
Yeah. Please tell me.
In the first version.
Ma'am, may I say?
Yeah. One after the other. I think Alina is telling. Yeah.
Speak.
It was very clear.
Okay, it was very clear. Now Alina can say what. Just tell what.
Ma'am, in the first version, you look a kind of pale. And also you were not with expressions and body gestures and with hand movements as well. You were quite nervous at the time. But in version 2, you were full of energy, full of expressions and emotions at the same time. It felt like that you were the lion and the lizard itself. And the story became really very interesting after that. And it was very clear. The vocabulary as well, it was very nice.
Yeah.
I like the version 2 better.
Ma'am, may I?
Now I
Yeah, please. Yeah.
I'm Arisha.
Okay, Arisha, please tell me.
Ma'am, in the version 1, it was like quite nervous and it was not really interesting. And I was also not able to understand the story in the version 1 only. So, in the version 1, it was kind of pale. And in the version 2, it was full of feelings, emotions, expressions, and it was full of body language and good expressions, and it was quite interesting in the version 2, and I could understand the story in the version 2 much better, and it was joyful.
Ma'am, may I?
Yeah. One more kid. After that, we'll move ahead. In between, I will give opportunity for everyone. Okay. Now, anyone just
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
unmute.
may
yes.
I? Ma'am, may I?
Okay. I think Trisha, right? Okay. You also tell me. No problem.
Yes, Yusra, go ahead.
Ma'am, in the first version, it was seeming like that you are not interested in the audience, and that is why the voice modulation was also like very much like there were no highs and lows in voice modulation, and everything was not seeming like very much interesting, and you were unable to connect with the audience. But in the version 2, you were full of expressions, voice modulation, like the voice modulation, how you changed. When the lion was adoring himself, the voice modulation was high, and when he was thinking that no, I can't do this, then it was showing disappointment and sadness in his voice. So that was something very much amazing, and it was seeming like that yes, we are seeing an animated movie, and we it was seeming like that we are present in that scene only. Lion, desert, everything is just in front of our eyes. So that is why I love version 2.
Ma'am, can I tell?
Thank you. Okay. Who is that? Only the last one.
Ma'am, can I
Okay.
tell?
Then we'll move ahead. Okay. We need to discuss many things.
Ma'am,
Who
can
was the
I
person who spoke? Okay, Pani. Only you are the last one. Okay. Yeah. Please tell me.
I like the version 2 because in version 1, the expressions and hand movement was not so good. And in version 2, you were very confident and your hand movement was very good. So I like version 2.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. I think you people have perfectly caught what I want you to, perfectly got the crux that I wanted to show you. So now let me break it down so that you understand what I really meant. Okay. So first story, why you didn't like? Because I didn't have a body language. That is what you all told me. So body language will be divided into 4 parts. First is posture. Okay. Second is gestures. Third is eye contact. And fourth is expressions. Okay. Now you take down. Now I'm going to talk to you about the postures. Now, when we generally come to speech, or even if you are going to a school teacher, if she is always folded hand and very stern, I think, let me adjust my camera so that if I'm standing like this, do you feel like I'm approachable? Like I'm like this, and stern. When we fold our hands and give a stern appearance, we try to tell the opposite person that I'm very defensive. I want to protect myself. Don't come near me. I think one second, guys. I think my camera, I'm not able to see it fully. Okay. So when you come on the stage and when you close your hands and stand like this and start giving your speech. Hi, I'm Swarnalata. I want to give you some topic. This is body language. You are not opening up. You are not allowing the audience. You're not trying to get connected to the audience. You are just restricting yourself. You're very defensive. It's like, don't talk to me, don't come to me. I am blocked. So when in postures, never take this posture like this, hold, or stiff, very stiff, holding your hand like this. Even that is not. Not allowed in the sense it doesn't give the audience the connection that you want to give. That are the two postures. And second, never slouch. Friend, talking when was leaning, be steady. Never go too back leaning, keeping your hands in the pockets, closing. These things are not allowed. When I say not allowed, it means the audience will not be able to connect with you. So the first standing posture where we are standing, how we are going to communicate, it plays a very important role. And movements on the stage. If I keep in the first part, I kept roaming mindless, and it was like it would have been a distraction for people to actually figure out what is ma'am is going to tell, that whether I have to see right or left. She's moving like this. So when you move on the stage without any purpose, it also distracts the audience of what is the message that you want to convey to them. So basically, you need to move on the stage but with purpose. When I moved in the second part, saying that the lion went into the park. When I'm literally moving 2 steps ahead on my stage and telling that the lion has moved from one position to the park. You always have to move with purpose on the stage, okay? Not just randomly moving, and don't keep walking. It shows that you are nervous. So you need to use your stage perfectly. The second thing for movement is when you want to say that I'm looking forward next year, you can always step ahead and just move 1 feet ahead to show that you are looking forward for something that is happening in future. And if you are talking about your flashback or last year, then you can always keep 1 step backward, showing that like from this backward, saying that last year it happened. Or you can use your hand gestures of back side, which is last year it happened. So let me show few pics for you. I'll share and then I'll come back and again explain to people. So these are the 4 things like posture, stance, position, movement, gesture, eye contacts, and facial expression. So the first thing, crossing your arms. Never stand crossing your hands, which shows that you are very defensive. You are not interested in talking or giving your speech. Okay. The second posture is breaking your eye. You move your hands all throughout your body with unnecessary gestures. Okay, that is the thing. And the next is nodding too much when you're speaking. Like yes, yes, yes. Sometimes a few of us have this habit of as soon as we start speaking, we completely nod our head. That is not a good gesture. Holding your hands backward, which means you are trying to hide something. The audience might get a little bit suspicious. So never do holding your hands backward. The other is keeping your hands in this pocket. Keeping your hands in a pocket is a symbol of you getting nervous. You are very nervous while giving your speech, or it also can be taken that you are showing your attitude. You are showing that you are too great for giving a speech. Okay. So never do these gestures. Keeping your hands on the hip is always a sign of authoritative. You feel that you're too authoritative. If you skip if you start giving your speech with your hands on the hip, it indicates that you are trying to talk from the position of authority. Whereas if you could watch the second part of the story, I would have used my hand on my hip for few minutes, because when I was conversing the dialogues of the lion, I was trying to tell you that lion felt He is very authoritative figure. He is the king of jungle. So he was having his hands on the hips. That was my indication to tell that lion was very arrogant, very proud of himself. That's why he was having hands on the hip. Now, what is the positions that you can take? Always keep your arms in a sideways, just like this. Okay, you can keep your arms in sideways position, neutral, and then you can start your speech. This is another part. I'll come back to this.
Ma'am, can you repeat what can we do for the postures?
Yeah. And that's what I'll stop the sharing so that it will be easy for you to see. Is my stop share? See, when you are on the stage, always be in your natural state. Keep your hands down near your body, okay? And your legs should always be at least 1 foot apart. Just come. If you feel like you can have 1 foot ahead and 1 foot back, just such that you don't put your weight entirely like in front or entirely at the back. It should be like balanced weight, okay? And when you now you might feel little bit scared. Then comes the second part. No, let me go to the gestures later. So here you understood when you're standing, you should always have your neutral hands and walk on the stage only when you are having a purpose. That is, when there is a purpose in your speech, to move, don't rock your body front and back. We generally have, in out of nervousness, we generally rock our body front and back, which should not be done. This could distract the audience. Now, the second part of after this postures and stand, there is something called as hand gestures. So what are the hand gestures? Now, usually when we talk, when we are very scared, what we do, we try to catch our hand, or we fix it very strong and bring it close to our body and start speaking. This is a sign of nervousness. It also shows that you are not open, you are defensive. Rather, always use open arms. This, when you show your open arms to others, which means you're more confident. You can try this exercise. If you're feeling very nervous, see back of your hand and front of your hand. Back and front. Yeah, always when you face your palm, you will feel very calm. You will feel relaxed. So similarly, when you're talking to the audience, if you open up your palms and speak, then even the audience will feel the speaker is calm, relaxed, and is more welcoming. So always have your arms open towards the audience. And there is something else, jazz fingers. That is, when you are addressing a particular group of people, always little bit open up your arms and start communicating with them. And never show your fingers towards the audience. Even if I want to call out someone, don't just say, hey, come here, or you please come up. Can any volunteers? If I ask like any volunteers, this is considered to be a very rude approach. Or asking like, hey, come here. That is very rude approach. You shouldn't be doing that. Okay. Instead, how do I do? Use your jazz hands. Say, sir, can you please come here? I need some volunteer. When you show up your open hand with little bit of space, you are showing your respect towards the audience. Okay, you got it? So never point out someone in the audience like you. You can always use like you, sir, this portion. Okay, so always have that. That is regarding gestures. Don't move your hands too much. When we are very nervous, sometimes unknowingly, for every part of our words, we try to explain. So we move a lot of our hands like this, like that. If you do that, the audience will be distracted of what you are trying to communicate. So distractions of hand, you should always watch. How do I watch? When you prepare your speech, you just go and watch the video of your speech, record your speech and watch the video. If you then you can see without a volume. You mute it and then you will understand how much you're moving your hands up and down without distracting the message. So that is one thing you can do. So once what I about the gestures is that, and then never point one second. So this is about the hand gestures. If you are very scared, now I said you should not be clasping your hands, you should not be clustering something, you should not be forgetting with clothes or some pen and pointing it down. That shows your sign of weakness. So instead, what I can do, you can always adopt a staple method. Staple method is when you're you can use like this and start speaking. Sometimes when someone else is speaking and you are standing on the stage and you are also nervous, you don't know what to do, the best approach would be make a triangle, staple first and keep it here. Slowly, this is not exactly the right method, but then it is acceptable. You are still open to the audience. But when you keep this position, don't keep it too tight. If you keep it too tight, again, it is an indication that you are closed and you don't want to, you are not open for the audience. So always make it a light step and slowly, steadily try to open up your hands, open palm. That is one method you can do. Another way can open up. This you can open up. This is called as beggar's posture, where you can open up so that the audience can speak this way. Relax. It shows that you are relaxed and you're more confident. If you want to show yourself as a confident speaker, have this open position to start your speech. It will also build your confidence from inside. So this is about hand gestures. And the third one is eye contact. Why you all did not like my story of the first part is because I did not make any effort to give my eye contact to you. See, whether it is a virtual meeting or it is a physical meeting where you can meet all your friends, the most important part is once the audience feels that the speaker is connecting to them. So that is very important. How do I do that? When in a virtual meeting, you all have your camera lenses. You all know in your laptop or in your mobile, there is a small little ring, from where the lens is focused. So whenever you speak, whenever you give a speech, always make it a point to look into the lenses. Why? When whoever sees from the opposite side will always feel that you are communicating to them. So whenever you're speaking, you always look into the lens of your camera and start delivering your speech. Then even if Subi ma'am is seeing or if I am seeing anyone on the virtual ground, will always feel as if you're communicating to them. So always speak to your lens. The second, now you said, okay, ma'am, but what about physical? In physical, you might have 100, 200 people. Then can I talk to each one? No. So the simple trick is always divide your audience into 3 parts: left, center, right. And when you want to communicate to each part, just turn towards your left. In the left portion of your audience, fix any one person, make an eye contact to that person, and start communicating. It doesn't mean that you say, hello here, hi, I'm Swarnalata. This again distracts. Okay? So you should not be doing like that. Take one sentence, turn towards your left, point your gaze on one person on the left side and start communicating to him. Okay? Once you complete a sentence, come back to the center position. Whoever is in center line, fix one person, talk second sentence to them, then third. In this way, the whole audience in the auditorium will feel that you are communicating to them. I'm talking this about a physical setup where you have a lot of people sitting. So you can't just keep talking straight You need to make the other side of audience also felt like they are also into this party. So always divide your audience based on the auditorium into either 3 parts. If it's a very big auditorium, maybe 4, 5, but it is generally recommended to have into 3 middle parts. Okay, that is how you maintain your contacts. Eye contact. Why it is very important? Because only when, if I feel that you are talking to me, I can be more connected to you. Else, I'll feel like you're not addressing me. I'm not given importance. We as a human always have a feeling that we need to be acknowledged for their presence. Okay, so that is eye contact. That's the most important facial. Okay, we all know that, I don't know whether you're aware, we have like 42 muscles in our face. Okay, so always try when you are smiling, your the muscles at your mouth is stretched to your ears like this. You know, all of you give me a good smile. Yeah. What happens is this muscle, when it is stretched up to your ears, it gets relaxed. Okay? And if I'm angry, I'm just tension, I'm just I'm straining myself. All this, I'm tightening these muscles. So what happens? There's a lot of strain here. It will be shown in my face. Okay. So always use appropriate expressions. Like if I'm telling I'm happy, try to smile. Okay? Not maybe laughing, but smile so that the audience connect. Oh yes, she is smiling. When I'm saying some sad thing, I'm like telling that I had a very bad day. My teacher yelled at me, my mother yelled at me. Then I can't say the smile, right? That emotion has to be there. Otherwise, audience will not connect. Like the way I told you the example of the yummy food, but you people could not connect because I was laughing and I was telling the words that I did not have a good food. Okay. So always try to have a good expression along with your words, matching with your words, basically. Then only people will understand. And remember, there is they are very two important principles that you need to play around with cameras. For example, if you want to emphasize that. In the story, you could remember when I said, never underestimate anyone. Don't judge. What did I do? I leaned forward towards the camera, gave a pause, and I looked into the camera and to emphasize my point, when we are telling something very important, I want my audience to hear, then you come forward. And then the next thing, when you don't want that, it's just going in a flow, you can slow down, go a little back and down. So this is about body languages and uses. Finally, a very good body language, smile. Smile is something more important. When you smile, it increases your confidence. It makes you and your audience comfortable. Okay, that is the first thing. Always there, smile. That is your confidence. Come on the stage, even when you're nervous, hold the steeple position for the starting, and then slowly relax. Open. Start using the open arm. If you're feeling that you're going to forget, then slow down your pace, get your words, and then start talking. And always, one recommendation would be make coming to a stage, make it as a joyful activity. Enjoy being on the stage. And before you prepare, you think about what audience are going to think, whether they're going to like it, whether not like it. That is when you're scripting. But when you're on stage, your only thought should be, I am performing. Irrespective of what my audience think, I am performing. Perform, and then naturally, when it is coming from your heart, all of your audience will like it. Okay. So my final thought, let me. So finally, for a body language, always pay attention to what you're talking. Pay attention to your how you are standing, how you are talking, what is your postures. You can ask your evaluators to point out this to you, that when you are delivering a speech, how was my body posture? Was I having a good eye contact? You can get all these feedbacks and work on it be patient, and finally, always keep smiling. I mean, according to your script, okay? But then wearing a smile will always give you a confidence. So, kids, I have done with my presentation. If you have any questions, you can just ask me. I'm here. I'll answer you.
Ma'am, may I ask you a question?
Yes, yes, please.
Ma'am, sometimes when we are giving a speech, we get like very nervous and forget our lines and get blank. So what can we do in that situation?
The first thing for getting blank, it is not a crime. Everyone gets blank at some point or the other. That is the only thing is that your mind is not focused on what you're doing. Okay, so if you are blank when you are delivering a speech, don't worry. It happens to even the famous speakers. Okay, give yourself that it's okay, chalta hai. You can give that. But then, how to overcome it? Practice your speech well. Okay. One of our mentor, Praveen sir, has given an idea like, don't read your script from start to end, but make it like a chip, the entire speech divided it into some 5 to 6 parts and practice each part so that even if you forget, you can do that. That is one thing. Second thing is, if you forget a line, no problem. Give that pause, try to regain, and then start.
Ma'am, may I?
But never have, yeah. But never have this blank, that feeling that, oh, I'll forget. Never attract that negativity. Yeah. Who is the other one?
Ma'am, I am Madiha.
Yeah. Please tell me, Madina.
Ma'am, if we will stand on the stage, we will stand like this also, like this posture.
No, that is a scalping of hand. You should not be doing that because when you do this, it shows that you are very scared.
Okay.
So instead, as I told you, have this triangular pose, like staple position, like this.
Yes, ma'am.
You can stand like this for a few seconds, start your speech, and slowly, once your nervousness is off, you can just take it off and open position.
Okay, ma'am.
This shows that, I'm closed. Don't talk to me. I'm not open. And you will not be able to connect yourself with the audience.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that is the thing. Anyone has any other question?
Ma'am, I want to share something.
Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, just like GV Askini was talking about when we forget lines. So what I do as Toastmaster Surbhi ma'am has told that don't learn your speech. Say whatever your opinion says, whatever your instance says, say that. And that is your true personality, whatever you speak. And whatever you understand, the people in front of you will understand. So this thing always happens with me because I forget everything. I'm reckless. So I cook up a story at that time. I add on something, I add some quote, or I like have a lot of information about some, fun facts because I share that on my YouTube channel as well. So everything starts cooking in your mind and I speak with that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. See, what Subi ma'am said was the concept is writing the script is your own story. Okay. So, if as authentic as it can be, like if I'm telling what has happened in my life, then I will be, even if I forget the exact lines that I've written, but I know what is happening, whether at that point of time I was happy or sad, I can put my words and I speak. But if it is not your personal story, if you are trying to get someone else's story or you have taken it from somewhere, then mostly you don't know what happened next, right? Because you have not experienced it. But if you have experienced it, then you can say like maybe I have written a very hi-fi English, but then suddenly you can say, oh, I was happy. This happened like this, or that's it. Yeah. So as much as your stories or speeches are personal, the chances of you forgetting it will be there, but still it could you could any other question?
Yes, ma'am.
Something. Ma'am, I want to share
Yeah,
some. I wanted to.
please.
want
Yes,
to just
please. Oh, sorry, I'm not able to know who is there. Please, please share, please share.
yes, ma'am. I wanted to share that I've published a book.
Wow,
I-
congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am. Its
Okay.
name is Utopia.
Oh, congratulations to you. I'll try to catch it up.
What, ma'am?
Congratulations, dear. I will try to find that book. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, guys. I think now I'm giving the stage to Surabhi, ma'am. I think she wants to talk something. If you have any doubt, you can ask Surabhi, ma'am, or we are also available. You can ask us. Okay. I hope this session had some insight to you. Surabhi, ma'am, it's over to you.
Okay, I got stuck. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll be visible in few seconds. It takes time. Thank you so much, Swarnlata ma'am. So first of all, we will unmute ourselves together and shout for Swarnlata ma'am. So let us unmute ourselves together. Everybody, unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Loudly say woohoo. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a wonderful session indeed. And even I got to learn a lot of things. And like, I will also correct my mistakes, ma'am. Okay. So it was an eye-opener session for me as well. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
How do you find the kids, ma'am? How are they?
Yeah, very good, very interactive. Actually, having the same 4 years old son, I am like used to all this. But these, generally in online session, it is very good when kids interact, right? So I am very happy with the kids. And I am sorry, today now there is a problem with my system, so I could not have a proper camera angle. It was up and down. I'm sorry, kids.
Ma'am, it's
Tomorrow I'll
absolutely
definitely.
fine. But you were rocking all the time. So amazing. So
So
according
today,
to you, what is the standard of the kids right now? Like, where do they need to improve? Some tips for the students, how they can put this into their daily practice.
I think yeah, when they are doing this Toastmaster speech, I think they should ask their evaluator to point out these things, especially because. So I think even I will be facing a problem. I think after it opens, when we go on the real stage and see people and do. So I think that otherwise the kids are good, too good. I have already attended 2 sessions. I know how the kids are. Yeah, it's good.
So now this is like very important, not only for the speeches you are preparing. Ma'am said that the evaluators should take care of all the things which ma'am has told you today, right? Legs, hands, hand gestures, body movements, facial expressions. So the evaluators, when you are evaluating your speakers, being a Gavelier, you should take care of all these things, okay? Now we will just take 2-3 questions. If you have any question, don't share, ma'am, I have written a book, ma'am, I have done this, okay? Just ask questions pertaining to today's workshop, okay? As Gaveliers, we know how to be specific, okay? So just unmute yourself and ask a very quick question from ma'am if you have any confusion regarding today's session. Anything which you want to ask.
Ma'am, may I?
Yes, Pavni, go ahead, child.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, when I make staple position, I tend to forget to do my hand movements. Though I'm not nervous at that time, but I don't do my hand positions. With that, I, lose marks, lose attention from people. So how can I improve that?
See, that is what I told. When we feel like, clasping a hand is wrong, so let me make a staple position. But then we, subconsciously go into the stage and we hold this tight.
Yes,
That is
ma'am.
slowly we need to break. Like for example, when you prepare for your next speech, you should subconsciously tell your mind, like maybe after my opening, after 2-3 lines is your opening of your speech. So you subconsciously think that after 3 lines, I am going to slowly open up.
Okay, ma'am.
That is one exercise that you need to do while practicing. Like you have, when you're practicing your speech, you think that after my third sentence, I'm slowly opening it. I'm slowly opening. You need to practice that. And then also in your speech, there might be somewhere like, some words that need showing your hands. So you should be having a focus like, okay, this word is coming like a flower of bouquet. Then my hand should go up. Slowly, when you practice this thing will go
Okay, ma'am.
slowly. But you need to put little bit efforts. Give pointers for yourself. Like third sentence, my hand is open. Fifth sentence, it's full like that. You need to practice that. You'll get it. Don't put too much pressure on you. It will go.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am,
How
may
many?
I also
Ma'am,
ask-
can I?
How
Ma'am, can
many of us want Swarnalata ma'am once again? Raise your hands. How many of us? Yes. So you will be meeting Swarnalata ma'am once more. Okay. So that's all for today, children. And thank you so much, Swarnalata ma'am, for being here. Thanks a lot. I hope my kids had wonderful session.
Excuse me, ma'am.
I just hope I could be to any help to you people. Okay, I'll be, you can call me anytime. I'll be there. I
Yeah.
love kids. I'll be there.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We love you. Okay, let us shout for ma'am. Ma'am, we love you. All of us together. All of us. And
We
let us
love
say,
you.
all of us.
We love you,
Thank you guys.
Love
I
you,
do
ma'am.
love
Thank you, ma'am.
you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy that I've come here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, kids,
Thank
with
you.
respect, I am ending the session. Thank you, ma'am, for giving your valuable and precious time to us. Thank you, kids. Thank you. Now you can go and have your lunch. I know you had online classes today.
Oh,
Yeah, okay. So you're free to have your lunch now. Okay, bye-bye, everyone. Bye.
bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
ma'am. Thank